All right. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are just a little early this evening. We are awaiting. Well, of course, I'm froze.
We're awaiting the Weekend at Bernie's propped up Joe Biden.
Yeah, we're all going to be propped up here. Apparently, we are awaiting President Biden to come in. This is obviously the political spotlight, and ladies and gentlemen, here. Oh no, it looks like we're still in previous. Oh no, here we go.
Thomas Jefferson wrote the nation. George Washington showed us presidents are not kings. Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think is more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. We can never forget that. And I never have. I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that? Does character in public life still matter? I believe I know the answer to these questions because I know you, the American people. And I know this, we are a great nation because we are good people. When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth. And the truth, the sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it so much, a cause of American democracy itself, must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
Oh my God.
That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now. Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period. I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence, our planet from climate crisis that is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it. And I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know, I will keep working to ensure America remains strong, to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for our allies in the Pacific. You know, when I came to office, the conventional wisdom was that China would inevitably surpass the United States. That's not the case anymore. And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also working around the clock to bring home Americans being unjustly detained all around the world. You know, we've come so far since my inauguration. On that day, I told you, as I stood in that winter, we stood in a winter of peril and a winter of possibilities. Peril and possibilities.
What?
We're in the grip of we were in the grip of the worst pandemic in the century.
Winter is coming.
The worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. We came together as Americans. We got through it. We emerged stronger, more prosperous, and more secure. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up. Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, and tribal communities. Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation.
He needs to drive down
We
Muncie's
finally
road.
beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who are exposed to toxic materials. You know, most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. And today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first Black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done.
In America.
I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake. And that's still the case. America's an idea. An idea stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world. That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known. I would like to thank our great Vice President Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people. When you make that choice, remember the words of Benjamin Franklin hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office, alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the convention going on,
oh my God,
whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic is now in your hands. My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America. We're a nation of promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. History is in your hands.
The Democrat candidate.
The power is in your hands.
They're just installing.
The idea of America lies in your hands. You just have to keep faith, keep the faith. And remember who we are. We're the United States of America. And there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together. Preserve our democracy. God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Thank you.
That was it?
Why the fuck is it called a press conference? He didn't take any questions. There was no press there asking questions.
Well, it's not whoever was running that feed, they just titled it wrong. It wasn't a press conference. It was an address from the Oval Office.
It's a campaign ad for.
I said what did I say? 6 minutes.
Yeah. Presidents routinely. Did you say, was that your 6 minutes? I thought, was it? Was that you 6 minutes? We'll have to look back. I know. I can't believe that.
I said 6 minutes. Don't listen to Kate. She's trying to steal it from me. I don't know what you're talking about. I assume you guys were all betting on how long it would last.
Yeah. So, okay. A couple of... I'm definitely interested in your thoughts on this. I mean, this is kind of a strange broadcast. We are now 13 minutes into our broadcast here, and that started straight away. First of all, I will tell you, I don't believe for a moment that was a live stream. That did not happen right now.
It didn't appear to be.
I'll tell you, because I watched parts of it, but then I was off screen for a few minutes of it. And there was one point where, and if you do any kind of editing or any type of work in audio or whatnot, and you listen, for example, in the sentence that I'm getting ready to say, if I said, today in the city of Muncie, the mayor welcomed people from Illinois. Okay. Today in the city of Muncie, the mayor welcomed people from Illinois. And then if sometimes I fumbled on the word people, or I choked when I was saying people, I might edit from someplace else in a broadcast where I said people and would put it in, and you can hear when they do that, and it's a little bit different. I noticed a couple places where when I wasn't watching him, but I was just listening, that it sounded like words were kind of punched in. They do that in music when you're playing music and you're recording music. You know, if you mess up, you don't always just start over from the beginning. Now with the technology we have, you can what's called doing a punch in. And I heard a couple places where, listen, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but I swear to you, it sounded like I could hear what sounded like a punch in. And so I don't know what that means. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe it's nothing. That was probably him. But to me, he addressed nothing. He did not address what the deal is all of a sudden. He did not address, hey, I've noticed that I've had some health issues. Keep in mind, we just ran the interview with George Stephanopoulos. What was it? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was pretty recent.
Yeah, it was like an hour-long interview, or 25 minutes, 6 to 30 minutes, something like that. And the entire time he was like, "No, I'm as good as I've ever been, and we can beat him." So to me, I wanted to know. I don't care about anything else. I wanted to know what changed from the interview with George. That's all I wanted to know. What changed from the interview with George? Well, what's your thoughts on what we watched, Brandon?
Well, I mean, you're right on that one. I mean, he didn't answer that question. He gave the impression he's like, "Oh, well, it's just time for a younger generation to take over." But in that interview with George, like you said, very recently, he's like, "I'm the one who can beat him. I'm the most qualified, capable person to do this, so I'm going to do it." It's like, you've known Kamala. It's not like you just met him and holy crap, I just found someone else who's qualified enough or even more qualified than me. I mean, Kate said something in our chat. It's like, he's like, I've all of a sudden you just realize that you're too old and younger people need to take over with a new vision.
Yeah.
Let me see what my other notes were. Yeah, he said something early on. He kept trying to highlight, I always promised I'd be honest with you. I was like, you mean like how when your campaign as of last Friday, was saying that you were going to be doing campaign events this week, and then 2 days later, it turns out you guys were blatantly lying?
Yeah.
You mean like when you promised us all a $2,000 check that we'd literally get a $2,000 check in the mail and we never got that? You mean like when you lied in the debate about the good people on both sides comment, which is not true? It's like, dude, you lie out the ass. So that's ridiculous. I think it's funny that he kept saying, "Oh, democracy's at stake. Kamala Harris is very capable." And it's like, democracy's at stake, and we're not a monarchy, but you guys are just trying to instill her as the next president with no one having voted for her yet.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're not a monarchy. We had to determine between monarchy and republic. I guess we're choosing monarchy, but it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I guess to the original point, I want to know what the hell happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe that in what we've seen. I can't believe that, because what were the things he said? He said that if God Almighty came down and talked to him, I doubt that happened.
I don't think that probably happened.
He said if he could see there was no path to victory, I don't believe that's it, because I think he had a better chance than Kamala.
Yeah.
And the other one was what? If he talked to his doctors and they said he couldn't do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's that kind of leave us to assume, I guess?
Sure.
I mean, he gave us the three options. The two of them don't seem likely to me. But that's what I'm thinking.
Man, I don't know. Kate, you have any thoughts? Is she just shaking her head? She's not going to come up here and say it?
Has anyone seen this man since he got off the plane?
What?
Has anybody actually seen this man since he got off the plane with the COVID?
No.
I mean, has anybody off the plane from where?
When he got off the plane after being diagnosed with COVID, he flew back to Delaware and got off the plane, and there was footage of him getting off the plane, being very careful getting off the plane. Has anybody seen him since then? Because
that's what I would like to know.
Pre-recorded.
Yeah,
so because it's we've seen the shit they can do with AI now.
Yeah, no question. Look, they said in 1969 we went to the moon, man.
Yeah.
So give me a break. The thing here is,
please don't do the flat Earth crap. I just can't.
That's not flat Earth. That's
moon.
Dude.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on that fake ass moon.
Moon landing fiasco.
Moon landing, flat Earth.
No.
Let's stick with political conspiracy theories.
Right. Yeah. There's plenty enough of that at the moment.
Right.
That interview could have been that address could have been recorded a month ago.
Yeah.
Do we, okay, if you want conspiracy theories on this topic, do we believe he even had COVID?
Fuck no.
Listen, I'm saying no.
I know Niall's opinion.
No, listen, I can't say that because listen, there is a strain of COVID that is ramping up. We have been hearing that people are getting COVID and they've been getting hit. The numbers have went up. When I say that, I mean, man, I've got a little bit of a cough. People feel bad for a couple of days.
Sea levels are rising too, Christopher.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. Right. I'm just telling you, in my life, I personally know locally around here, I know that there is a spike in COVID. So could President Biden have COVID? Sure, that's a possibility. I think that's got nothing to do with him leaving the race. I think that's got nothing to do with, I don't know if he had COVID or not, but it would be a very good reason why all of a sudden he cut everything off. It's kind of funny. Nancy Pelosi has been saying in the last couple of days, like every time she was interviewed, she would say, oh, no one's going to tell him what to do. I would never want to do that. He's going to make the right decision. And he's like, I'm staying in the race. And then the next day she's like, he's going to make the decision. And he's like, I'm staying in the race. And she's like, I said he's going to make the. And it's like, dude, Nancy, he's telling you he's made the decision. He's staying in the race. But that was not what she was wanting to hear.
He was planning events on Friday.
Yeah.
For campaigning and fundraising.
If we're taking bets, I've got dementia.
Oh. Yeah, well, yeah. Wait a minute.
You got dementia? You bet he's got it.
Or...
that's what I think. If we're taking bets, what's wrong with him?
Listen, I don't think there's even a question of that. I don't even think that there's a question of that. I think that's clear.
I mean, Chris Bunner's got it interesting. I don't think he's dead because Jill would want the attention. And that's my other question. Where the hell is Jill and Hunter?
No. Back up. It doesn't mean that she wouldn't get Dementia 19. It doesn't mean that she wouldn't get the attention at some point. I think she's so ingrained in the process that if for the greater good, they needed to pull some kind of Stalin bullshit and say he's still alive, and
I'll tell you where they're at, Christopher. They're moving all their assets overseas before they get to zero.
Right. Absolutely.
They're all going to move to a non-extraditing country. Yeah,
right. They're quickly liquidating everything out of the United States and making sure that they are in a absolutely. No, I don't know. For everybody that said, like, because what was it yesterday? They said he was supposed to be back at the White House at 2:30 yesterday. 2:30 came and went, and he was not back at the White House. Then they said, oh, that's all right. He's going to be addressing the nation at 8 p.m. on Wednesday evening. The moment that I heard that, I thought that doesn't matter because they can put up an interview from a month ago.
They could.
So in my opinion, the proof of life that we are seeking, I've not found. I want to see the pool reporters take snapshots of him. I want someone like there's got to be a whistleblower out there. I want to know what's going. Someone has to release what happened. That was not that to me. That does not prove anything. Nothing. That's nothing.
So what's the game though? Because how they hide him for 6 months?
I'm not saying they have to hide him for 6 months.
Well, they hid him during the first campaign for 6 months.
Well, that he wasn't in the White House then, though.
Yeah, but it was COVID.
Yeah, well, yeah. I still have a hard, dude. His immune system does not work because he apparently was sick during the debate, and then a week later has COVID.
Yeah.
He's like sick, gets better, and then immediately is sick again.
But he's 81.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's frail.
He's 81. So I mean that happens with older people, and it's okay.
Especially ones that are going to hell.
Yeah. I
hope everyone's enjoying the commentary from Niles.
Yeah.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
No, he won't.
No, you're fine.
Basement dweller.
Listen, I'm just interested in what everybody else. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, it got sprung really quickly. We should have been on probably at 7:30. We're going to be talking about this for a little bit. I do have a regular Muncie show to talk about, some things to go on, but I think that this is very important. I mean, this is a major deal. In my opinion, like I'm interested to hear what like everybody is going to be saying about this because this did nothing. I want to know when actual journalists are going to see him, put eyes on him, snap pictures of him. I want to see him walking because even if he is stepping out of the election, today, the press secretary, they said, we are not a lame duck presidency. Well, yeah, you are. Any time you're an incumbent that is not coming back in and you're not running, you're a lame duck. You're specifically because you don't control Congress. And so, that's an issue. But
the weird thing is that usually you don't consider a lame duck until after the election.
Yeah, right.
So you only have this 2-month period of lame duck. Now we've got 6 months, 7 months.
But I don't. Yeah, that's true. I don't think this is something that if he is. I don't know that he's dead. I don't think that he's dead. I'm pulling back from that. I don't think he's dead. I think that he's like kind of under either a self-imposed or a cabal imposed like house arrest, kind of like they are kind of keeping him away for the greater good. And that Jill and Hunter, they're going to bend over and do whatever anyone says because she wants to stay in the good graces and be able to go to the parties and be thought of as a hero. And he just wants to stay the hell out of trouble.
Yeah.
So they're not going to blow up. And let's say for the sake of argument, God forbid he is dead. If he is dead, they're going to want to have the big parade and everyone talk about how wonderful he is and putting him on Mount Rushmore. That being said, those two, what?
That's all got to be planned, like right before the election.
Yeah.
Sorry for him.
Yes. Yeah. Because
he's full on window liquor now, Chris.
Yeah. What?
He's full on window liquor.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying is that what a great way to get sympathy votes. It's just like the assassination attempt on Trump. For those that out there that are callous and removed from things and whatever, there are people who are saying, it was bad and whatnot. But think about this politically, it did give him a boost. Okay, yeah. Cool. Well, if there is a funeral, if God forbid there's this happening, if they do that right before the election, think about the sympathy vote that whoever as the Democrat candidate would receive based off of that. So this is just, I don't know. It's icky. It's gross. To me, this does not make me feel comfortable. And I am pissed off because everybody around the world is watching this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making us look like we are completely ignorant.
Is he getting ready to pardon Hunter and all that? Say why not? He's done anyway.
Yeah, might as well. My brother, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, who cares at this point?
My brother's thoughts on that were I was talking to Andrew today, and Andrew said, let me pull this back up. My brother said that he thought that what they would do is right around the election, if Kamala ends up being the pick, which my brother thinks that Kamala will be the pick, she right around the election, if Biden is still truly alive, that he will step down and allow Kamala to become the president, and then win or lose, that would allow her the opportunity to pardon all of them, so that then going out, no matter what, he would be.
Oh, interesting.
They would be good to go. Yeah. Yeah.
I had a similar theory to Diane there. Like, I don't think he's dead. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he is, but I think it's very possible that not necessarily exacerbated his dementia, but he could have even, like, because that's a lot of stress. He's 81. He went through all this shit, and then he started campaigning harder than ever, and he's sick. I mean, he could have had a heart attack. He could have had a stroke. I mean, he could be drooling on himself in a chair somewhere right now. You know what I mean? Like, he's not necessarily dead, but he could be, I mean, really out of it.
He could have drank a cup with 100 milliliters of morphine in it.
Yeah.
And drifted off to a warm, sleepy, forever sleep.
Yeah. But I mean, you kind of mentioned something before this, but I mean, they've been thinking about this at least for a little while, because as soon as he announced, freaking YouTube just got lit up with Kamala Harris donation ads. Like, hey, donate to me. It's like, when did you record this?
Yeah.
And she's got like 5 different ones and all these different things. And I keep telling YouTube, I don't want to see these stupid ads, but I keep seeing them, and they are just flooding with it. Like that there was some strategy that went behind that. They were ready to go. So how long have they known he was going to drop down? Huh?
Apparently it's a big Twitter thing too, trying to make her look like she's cool or something like that. From what I'm seeing from like CNN and other postings, the polls are showing that she's even less popular with young people than Biden was.
They can make her look cool until she opens her mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her mouth.
Well, the problem is when like old people try to look cool to young people, it just makes it worse. It's like, like trying to be cool with your kids just embarrasses them even more.
TikTok. Yeah. It was TikTok. I'm sorry, not Twitter. TikTok.
I mean, I guess she promised blowjobs for votes. She seems to be good at that.
He broke Brandon Thornburg.
What?
Oh, Jesus.
He broke Brandon.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Hey there, hip young kids. I'm hip too. Check out my hat.
Yeah, right.
This is lit. No cap.
Does it say that? Are you looking at? Oh, I thought you were actually looking at something.
The thing that really bothers me is that I'm seeing so many people getting on Facebook and posting, I'm with her.
Yeah.
Aren't you, as a Democrat, not upset that your primary vote is being shit on?
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
And that the Democratic Party is not acting as democratic. They are acting like an oligarchy. No one else seems to have a problem with this. People are just like, okay, well, look, we'll go. The Kool-Aid went that way, so we'll just follow it. Aren't you upset that the democratic process is being broken because of the way they're handling this? They have 3 weeks from now, or almost 4 weeks from now, until the convention. Why can't they do some kind of virtual primary again? At least make it look like they're trying to be fair about it.
Why?
Those voters don't care, though, because the Democrat Party has cheated the last 3 primaries. Like, the last 3 were rigged. Like, remember when they went through Iowa and like Pete Buttigieg was like doing really well and then dropped out while doing well because they promised him a cabinet position? Like, hey, listen, Joe Biden's the candidate. We don't care what the voters say. So they were all dropping out. Not to mention the fact that Kamala Harris was out before Iowa because she had no support, no money. Election
like
before
after
that
this
with Hillary Clinton,
Tulsi
they had
Gabbard, or Tulsi Gabbard.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
she destroyed her. But the election before that was rigged against Bernie Sanders.
Yes.
I mean, last 3 Democrat primaries have been completely rigged, and they just picked their candidate and put them in place.
Well, and this time they pushed RFK out.
What was it they
Yeah.
said?
Yeah.
It's better to vote in a Republican than a Democrat they can't control.
Yeah. Well.
Which is the thing that, like, probably, I mean, honestly, it's probably one of the things a lot of people like about Trump is the Republican Party did not want him to be the candidate.
Right.
And he got it anyway, which means he was,
The
like
people's
him or
choice.
not, the people at least got to choose that candidate.
Yes.
Nobody's choosing Kamala as far as I can tell. And
But,
Biden
I mean, she didn't
was-
even get primary votes in 2020 because she didn't make it to a primary. She
Yep.
quit before that.
Yep. And like you were saying, RFK, they rigged the primaries. They wouldn't even do the debates or anything. They pushed RFK out and wouldn't let him on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
So the Democrats have been rigging these elections for at least the last 3, at least. The Republicans have probably tried. I'm not trying to defend the Republicans, but they failed if they tried.
And then you've got the media posting about polls that are coming out, which shows Kamala's ahead 1 point, ahead 2 points in there. Kamala's ahead. Kamala's ahead. Well, 2 and 3 weeks ago, when Trump was ahead 1 or 2 or even 5 points ahead of Biden, that's
Big
a
deal.
statistical tie.
And it
Why the difference in the reporting? Why is Kamala ahead, but Trump was in a statistical tie?
Well, and the funny thing about any polls with Kamala right now is like, oh, is that based on all of her public events and the debates? Oh, wait, she's done nothing yet.
Right. It's just because she's new. She's
Right.
the new shiny.
Or they're just saying things, because when have they had time to run these questions with the public? When has all of this just happened? Sunday at 1:15? They
And
said
they were running them before, when Biden was kind of
Well, yeah, a lot of the like the test questions and the test polls of, like, you know, if it's not Biden, if it's just any unnamed Democrat, if it's Kamala, if it's Gavin,
Ridenour,
yeah,
Obama.
but I'm just still really I'm just shocked. I mean, I just don't know, like, when are we going? Like, surely every question, and from now until at some point where we see him walking around the Rose Garden or something goes on, the question has to be, where is he at? So their claim then is he is in the White House. He's sleeping in the White House tonight, right? He's in the White House tonight.
Apparently he filmed it in the Oval Office at 1:30 in the afternoon.
How do we know is that something that they have announced? Have they announced that this address was recorded?
Alva was commenting on that earlier, that he said it was filmed at 1:30 this afternoon. So Alva, have you seen reporting on that?
Have you heard that, or were we just like, I mean, I don't think you're far off if that was just a guess, but it would just be interested if they actually put that out. It's just like the address that he did with, it's just like he did the thing that he did with George. I thought that was going to be a live interview, and then we found out that no, he recorded, and still it was trash. Did a horrible job with that. It was not a good. Okay, all right, that's fair, Alva.
You said George, and it made me think of Mice and Men, but with Kamala and Joe.
That's exactly what this is, man.
Tell me about the rabbits, Kamala.
That is exactly what's going on here.
I got Kate. See, now I broke Kate.
Yeah. The only difference is he actually cared about him. At the end, what happened, I won't ruin it for anybody if you haven't read the Most Amazing Book,
from like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, spoiler alerts for a classic.
Spoiler
from 60
alert.
Years ago.
You know, why he did that is he cared about him. I think that they would just like overdose Joe and kick him out going down the highway at 60 miles an hour and flop him out into the ditch. You know, I don't think they care about him. If they cared about him, he wouldn't be president right now because he would be home and they would be taking care of him. That's proof enough I need that they don't care about him.
Oh, yeah.
His family doesn't. It's elder abuse. He's been like this for a while.
Yeah. Of Mice and Men is about as old as Joe Biden.
When was that published?
In 1937.
Oh shit.
37. When was Biden published?
Was Biden published?
Yeah.
He would have been 1943, right? If my math is correct.
Is Biden's younger than my grandparents? That's crazy.
He's 81.
I mean, listen,
right?
I love my grandparents. I wouldn't want either one of them to be president. I think they're probably watching. Love you guys. I wouldn't want either one of you to be president of the United States.
He was born in 1942.
1942. Okay, my grandfather was born in 38. So
yeah, so he was born within 5 years of it.
That's when did you say it was published?
1937.
37. Okay. Wow, that's crazy.
According to Wikipedia, I'll believe him.
Yeah. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
So Alva's saying that there is a meeting tomorrow with Benjamin Netanyahu. So there is a very, very good likelihood that the press will be taking pictures of the two of them together.
Didn't Kamala Harris piss him off?
Yeah,
she hasn't met with him yet or something.
She didn't. Yeah, she came to Indianapolis instead of meeting with him.
Yeah,
get the hell out of Indianapolis. We don't want you here. I mean, I'm not in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Well, she's got to go. Do whatever it is she does to convince people to vote for her.
Well, you don't want to know what that is.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
I think Niall said something about it here a little bit ago.
God.
Thankfully, Niall's is in the bathroom, so we're safe.
We'll see how tired her mouth is after the event.
Oh my God!
From all the talking.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Jeez, Kristopher.
Trump is also meeting with Netanyahu.
Oh.
Who?
Trump.
Donald Trump.
That doesn't surprise me.
You ever heard of him?
No, I have not.
Well, he's this guy. Somebody took a shot at him a few.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
It hit the news a little bit, but
Hey, speaking.
No. He was one of the stars of Home Alone 2: Lost in New York.
Oh, that's
that guy.
That's right.
I remember
that's the
scene.
one.
That was a very pivotal scene.
Remember, he gives Kevin McAllister directions.
Yes, it's that way.
Thankfully, it was Trump that he met in the lobby to help him get directions, and not Biden.
He just snip his hair.
Yeah, right.
And then he do the screaming around.
Biden's running around the hotel like Elisa Lam. You know what I'm talking about? You know, the girl that wound up in the water tank upside? You know what I'm talking about? You ever seen that video? Very spooky.
No.
One of the weirdest little, it was a chick who was from, I think she was Canadian, like she was like Asian Canadian, Asian American. That makes sense. But when you say that, Asian Canadian, yeah, she was like one of her parents was Asian of some descent, and one of her parents was from Canada.
Is this the one where you see her like in the elevator, like fighting somebody off, but you don't actually see who she's fighting?
She doesn't fight anybody unless it's like a ghost. She goes in and she's like looking and she's spooky. She comes She looks in. She's acting real spooky, and she goes up, and then all of a sudden she goes out, and she disappears. Nobody sees her, and she never calls her parents again. They start making a missing persons report. They're looking for her. They're doing all of that. They don't know what's going on. She was down here taking a solo trip. I'm like, that's never going to end good. You know what I mean? Like when you're doing the whole solo trip and you're supposed to be a girl doing that, that's just not that always sounds like it's going to end bad. So they ended up, nobody knew where she went. Well, in the next couple of days and weeks, maybe a month went by, people in the hotel were noticing that their water smelled bad. Oh man, it's got a weird, funky smell to it. And when they were getting water in the shower to drink out of the tap, it had little floating specks in it, and it was just discolored, and they had a real big problem. So they sent a work guy up to the top to get into the tank, and he opens the tank, and there she's inside the tank floating dead.
Ew.
And she's there. Here's what's really crazy, and conspiracy theorists like go down a rabbit hole with this. Her name was Elisa Lam, and what's really strange is they had an outbreak of tuberculosis in was she in LA or San Francisco, one of the two. LA, I think. And they'd had an outbreak of tuberculosis in the area where she was at. And the test that they give people for tuberculosis, the test that the health department was giving everybody, was called the Lam-Alicia test.
Oh.
So it was her name. It was just switched. And I'm like, okay, so I mean, that's a weird coincidence, but yeah. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But yeah, I always think about that. And so this is really weird, and it has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, other than to say when the video footage of her in the hotel is very strange. And I was just going to say, if it was Biden there, that's what he would have been doing. But we went down a really weird rabbit hole there. So,
well, that's like the same story as the 2002 Japanese horror film Dark Water. Have you ever seen that?
I've heard about it, and I think when did it come out?
It's like 2002. It was around when Ring came out, because like for a minute there, all the Japanese horror, because Japanese horror is cool.
Yeah,
it's just so different and like weird, and like it just makes it more interesting. And so they did the Ring, and everybody's like, "Wow, that's really cool." And so then they started doing the Grudge and Dark Water and like all this other stuff, but. In Dark Water, there's like weird scenes where like I think they're in an apartment building that has like a water tower on top, but I think somebody was thrown in the water tower at some point and they're haunting the building, and that's what that sounded like what you're describing.
That's very interesting, and especially because that happened before, because obviously this happened after that. I was trying to think if maybe it was one of those things where it could have happened before and kind of inspired it, but this happened after, and so that's strange. Here's that. While we're not doing anything of real interest at the moment, bear with me. Yeah, it's freaky what she's doing. Elisa Lam ordeal happened on Friday, February 19th, 2013. The body of Canadian tourist Elisa Lam was recovered from a large cistern atop the Cecil Hotel.
Oh, so it's after that, the movie and everything.
Yeah. Very, very creepy.
Weird.
They're saying like she could be on drugs. That was one thing. And the thing is, you can't see the time. They went back and they said that someone had messed with, edited the time out.
Yeah.
This is the elevator in the Randolph County building.
Oh, the one that didn't Lisa Teal get stuck or something?
Yeah, yes. Oh, the Lisa Teal connection now. I get it.
Look at the
Lancey
floor.
Steele. What?
Yeah.
Look at the floor. It
What
even
about
looks like the floor at the
Yeah, it does. It looks like the tile at the county building.
That's why she hasn't been showing up to those meetings. Does she go to those meetings now?
I don't know. Has somebody checked the Cecil Hotel or the swimming pool or the water tower?
Good question.
Oh, never mind. I don't think she'd get in the hole. Okay. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. They tested her and she did not have any drugs in her system. She had no drugs. Toxicology showed no drugs. I think she had an antidepressant, but she had no street drugs. So, all right, back to politics, folks. Yeah, Brandon, this was weird. I don't know. It does not. I mean, it was only 6 minutes. My question real quick here is, how long did it last? How long did the whole speech last with him?
I don't know the exact number. Do we have it? Can we pull it up? You want me to look it up?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up here. I mean, it lasted. It was less than 10 minutes.
Let me see. Yeah, he didn't answer any questions. That's stupid. Ugh. Almost so horrible.
The trend is positive. And I'm determined to get this deal done and bring an end to this war, which should end now. Let me conclude where I began. I draw.
There we are.
I served in the Senate along.
Hey, got through the you know the thing.
1.5 million. I mean, so things are moving. We got more to go. Working class people still need help.
My Viagra. Things are moving.
Greed is still at large. Their prices, the corporate profits have doubled since the pandemic. They're coming down. So I'm optimistic about where things are going.
I'm not particularly.
Danny Kemp, AFP.
Oh, here we are.
Tell that to my retirement account.
My fellow Americans.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to you tonight from behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office. In this sacred space.
What time did that start at?
Surrounded by portraits.
It doesn't say.
Extraordinary American presidents. Thomas Jefferson wrote the immortal words that guide this nation. George Washington showed us presidents are not kings. Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear.
And his brother Frankenstein.
I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president.
He also was in office for like 500 years.
Defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think is more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task.
That was a weird swallow.
Of perfecting our union. It's not about me. It's about you. Your families. Your futures.
It does say earlier today.
We can never forget that.
Did you see that?
I never have.
I don't think it was on there when we were
I've
watching
made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history.
No way.
But some at 8 o'clock, I wouldn't consider an earlier today.
Our fate of our nation and the
I would
world
consider
for
something that happened at 8 o'clock to be earlier
America's
today.
gonna
I call it earlier this evening.
between moving forward or
Only
backwards.
So my
someone's
question
recording this.
is,
Between hope and hate.
did
Between unity and
that
division.
on there the first time we watched this?
We have to decide, do we still believe
Oh no,
in
I'm
honesty,
checking right now.
decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that?
Oh, so they put it on
Does
there
character
recently.
and public life still matter? I believe I know the answer to these questions.
Dude, they got magic.
Because I know you, the American people.
Magic.
And I know this. We are a great nation because we are good people. When you elected me to this office,
Not
I
people who
promise
plagiarize
to always
speeches and
love
lie
with
about how they did in school.
to tell you the truth. And the truth, the sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it
Cherry
so
that
much.
cause. Did you
Cause
just say
of
those that
American
cherry that
democracy
cause?
itself
I think so.
must unite to protect it.
Must
You know,
unite.
in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition.
That enrages
So I've
me.
decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a
What
new
does?
generation.
To a
It's the
new
best way to
generation.
unite our nation.
Democracy, saving democracy.
You know, there is a time and a place
Yeah, it's
for
rolled
long
up.
years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices.
He's only got 3
And that
fingers. It
time
is
and
AI
place is
generated.
now. Over the
How
next
crazy
6
would that
months,
be?
I'll be
That would
focused
be
on doing my
hilarious.
job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy.
Wow.
I'll
Wow.
keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil
Where's my
rights.
$2,000,
From the
Joe?
right to vote to the right to choose.
Where's my
I'll
Where's
keep
my
calling out
$2,000,
hate and
Joe?
extremism. Make it clear there is no place
So
for
no,
this nation in
I'm
America
watching our broadcast from
political
earlier,
violence,
and that earlier
or any
today was
violence
not on
ever,
there.
Period. I'm going to keep speaking out
I'm going to keep
protect our
speaking
kids from
out.
gun violence.
Keep freaking out.
Our planet from climate crisis is the existential threat.
Our planet
will
from
keep
climate.
fighting
You say our
my-
planet
for
from
my
climate,
cancer
climate
moonshot,
crisis. Exactly.
So we can end
threat.
cancer as we know it, because we can do it. I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy.
I've been saying from the
Supreme Court
get-go
reform.
that this was like this. We were
know,
hearing
I
1968.
will keep working to ensure America remains strong, secure, and the leader of the free world. I'm the first
I don't
president
agree
of this
with that.
century
Why?
to report to the American
Because he
people
didn't make it through the
that the United
primaries
States is
all
not
the
a
way as the
anywhere
winner
in the
before
world.
he left.
Well,
and said he wasn't going to
We'll keep
run.
rallying a
Yeah,
coalition of proud nations to stop
I
Putin.
get what you're saying there.
That's
I
a
mean,
big
It's a
Ukraine.
big difference.
More
with the
damage.
violence, with
We'll
the
keep NATO stronger,
assassination attempt. I mean,
and I'll make it more
68
powerful
killed
and more
Kennedy.
united than any time in all of our history.
Bobby.
I'll keep doing the
By
same
the
for
way,
our allies in the
folks.
Pacific. You know, when I came to office,
I want to see
conventional wisdom
RFK.
was that
I wanna
China
see RFK come out.
would inevitably pass the United
I'm
States. That's
gonna run.
not the case.
And I'm gonna run.
Let's look
And
up
I'm going to keep
another.
working to end the
I'll
war
do
in
that
Gaza,
right after.
bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also
Dude,
working
people
around
have
the
been
clock to bring
saying
home
that
Americans
since
being
like
unjustly detained
forever.
all around the world.
How many
Yeah.
presidents have said we're gonna bring peace to the
You
Middle
know,
East and end this
We've
war?
come so far since my inauguration.
Decades and decades and
And
decades
that
of
day, I
saying this.
told you, as I stood in that winter, we were stood in
I
a winter
know that.
of peril
I know that.
and a winter of possibilities. Peril and possibilities. We're in the
Peter,
grips of
Luke-
the worst pandemic
What?
in the century.
Stumblefoot
The
wrote
worst
the White House
economic
gave
crisis
tip
since
on
the Great
protector
Depression.
bags.
The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
Civil War.
We came together as Americans. We got through it. We emerged stronger, more prosperous, and more secure.
His
Today,
hand.
we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up. Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban,
Literally.
suburban, rural, and tribal communities.
We're not rebuilding
Manufacturing has come
Muncie.
back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation.
Chips and
We
salsa and
finally
innovation.
beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for
I got
seniors.
mine.
Beat Medicare too, I
I'm going to
heard.
keep fighting to make
Yeah.
sure we
Finally
lower
beat
the cost
Medicare.
for everyone, not just seniors.
Beat it to smithereens.
More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who are exposed to toxic materials.
JD said, "Why I
You
oughta."
know, most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years.
Yeah, when's JD gonna
Today,
do this speech? I'm
Violent-
not
the
gonna
violent crime
run. I
rate
need
is
to
Yeah,
let
at a
right.
50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are
Look
lower
at
today
look
than when the previous administration left office.
look.
I've kept my
No,
commitment
no,
to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of
Look,
America.
look
I also
at
kept my
how
commitment.
weird it is directly behind him. Okay, so you see there's this part of the window, Then there's this part of the window. Then there's this part of the window. You see that where my cursor is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, then there's this part of the window and there's this part of the window, but there's this part right back behind here. I'm going to rewind it just a second, and I want you to look how weird it looks right back here. Look at this. Look at how strange it looks. Like in this area, and then he's going to lean back over and on the other area. Watch this.
Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years.
See it?
What's it doing?
Our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, tribal.
It's loading.
Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and
You see
science
it?
and innovation.
Yeah, it's been moving.
You know, it might be, okay, it might be his teleprompter in the reflection of the window.
We beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription.
Oh, you may be
drugs for
right.
seniors.
It does look like something scrolling up,
I'm
doesn't
going
it?
to keep
Yeah.
fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have
Oh, dude,
healthcare
we need to
today in
get
America
someone
than
in the
ever
media with
before.
some actual
I signed one of
technology
the most
to zoom on
significant
it, make
laws
sure.
helping millions of veterans
Yeah.
and their families who are exposed to
Oh,
toxic
shoot.
materials.
Okay, let me zoom on mine.
You
What?
know,
I'm try to zoom. We'll see what I can see.
most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. Today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office.
Looks like a
I've kept
combination
my
of that, and the trees are blowing
to appoint
around a
the
little bit in
first
the
black
background.
woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment
That's
to
a
have an
weird promise.
administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake.
Man.
The very nature of who we
Oh,
are
America
was
is a steak.
and that's still the case.
Which I
America's an
can't normally eat.
idea.
I have to put it in the blender.
An idea is stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean,
Even though I have
more powerful than any
700.
dictator or tyrant. It's the
Ooh,
most
2 meetings in
powerful
6
idea in the
months.
history
Huh,
of the
Eric? That's
world.
pretty good.
That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal. Endowed by our
Flew
Creator
in
with
from
certain
Kansas where
inalienable
we
rights,
host now.
life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
Dude, Winchester's so
We
crazy.
never fully lived up to it.
The fact that people would have liked her is so
We've
stupid.
never walked away from it either. And I do not believe
I mean, the fact that I like the
walk away
JD is
from it
stupid.
now.
There's just a lot of stupid
Just a few
politicians
months.
in that area.
The American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known. I'd like to thank our great Vice President Kamala Harris.
Stumblefoot, they just
Experience. She's tough.
recycled
She's
that.
capable.
They're using that same movie set
She's
that
been
they
an
did
incredible
the moon
partner to
landing
me
on.
and a leader for
Yeah.
our country.
They just
Now the choice is
repurposed
up to
it.
you, the American people.
If they turned the camera, you would see the
You make that
the
choice.
moon setting behind him and the flag and all
Benjamin
that.
Franklin's hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office.
And over to it. Let us see
Alongside
it.
the bust of Dr. King and
Yeah.
Rosa Parks and says, "I shall."
His eyes get real wide and like
When Ben
weird
Franklin was
sometimes.
asked,
Yeah.
as he emerged from
Oh, Ben Frankenstein.
the convention going on,
We had a
whether
convention
the
going on.
founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was a republic.
Franken
If
response
you
was,
can't keep it.
does he actually keep saying
Republic,
Franken or am
if
I
you can
mishearing
keep
him?
Whether
Listen,
we
hold
keep
on.
our republic is now in your hands. Up to it,
I'll be quiet.
this sacred idea. But we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the
Does he
American
say?
people will walk away from it now. In just a few months,
Did I go that far back?
she's tough. She's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people.
I won't say the Franklin shit.
When you make that choice, remember the words of Benjamin Franklin's hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office,
I don't know.
alongside the bust of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the
That sounds like Franken to me.
Yeah.
the convention going on, whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response
Yes!
He keeps calling him Franken.
Frank, it's
Republic.
Al's brother.
if you can keep it.
Old Senator Al Franken.
If you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic.
Damn it, Joe, you're good enough.
My fellow
Gosh
Americans,
darn
it's
it,
been
people
the
like
privilege
you.
of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on
I
earth
love you, Brandon.
could have kindled the stutter. From modest beginnings in
references
Scranton,
for
Pennsylvania,
days.
Claremont,
I
Delaware,
love it. I
one day
love
sit
it.
behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am.
Yeah, here I am.
That's what's so special about it.
2 months ago.
Good thing not for
We're a
long.
nation
Bye,
of
sucker.
promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of
Oh,
ordinary
dude.
Americans doing
Doers
extraordinary
and dreamers.
things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many
I'm gonna
others.
bust out some sentences.
I've been blessed
I've been
a
talking.
million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am.
Yeah,
make
that's
one out,
the
Frank.
teleprompter.
The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule. The people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. Just as
Much
the
like I
kings
was in
did.
Kamala's earlier.
Remember who we are.
You heard that
United States of
endorsement?
America.
Come on.
Ew.
Simply
Come on.
nothing beyond our
Niles.
capacity.
That was for you.
We do it together. So let's act together. Preserve our democracy. God bless you all. And God protect our troops.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not happy. I'm still not happy with it. It doesn't answer a damn thing. I'm gonna look up the another speech from the Oval Office. What let's see who
Hey, look at
Yeah.
your screen, man.
hold on.
I was pulling photos.
Okay.
Ben Frankenstein.
Okay.
That looks CG as shit.
That looks fake.
That's the. Whoa, Jesus.
And
Why do these look so freaking fake?
I mean, that's clearly does not look real. Now that looks real.
The background looks real, but it looks like Trump's superimposed, doesn't it?
Yeah, Trump doesn't look real. No one looks real there.
Hey, there's that one guy's brother.
I mean, yeah, here in just a few minutes, we're going to kick into the real show there, Alva, and talk about some Muncie shit, but you can listen to it today or tomorrow
Alva.
or whenever.
Bye.
You got to do what you got to do. There's always important things going on here. What are you talking about?
Oh, only good.
But yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I understand, bro. No problem.
Yeah, I got my pillow.
I appreciate you always, as always. Hit the like before you leave there.
Don't forget to send her that money.
Yeah, right. Where's my money? Where's my money? Yeah, I'm disappointed. That didn't answer any questions. That did not answer any questions.
Yeah, it was weak. I thought it was going to be longer. I thought he's going to give us some answers. He said no. 10, 15 minutes. I thought 20 minutes at tops. But honestly, at the end of the day, it could have been 5 minutes as long as he would have answered the freaking question. Why were you okay? What? It's probably an hour. They probably cut out all the bullshit.
Yeah, right. Why were you okay Friday and not on Sunday? Why?
Yeah,
How?
All of a sudden Saturday, they're like, hey, did you ever think about letting younger people run the government? He went, oh, shit, I never thought about that. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, right. Well, that sounds like a good... Never thought of it.
If you guys had said that 2 weeks ago or 4 years ago, I would have never been in here in the first place.
Yeah, right. Well, I thought when they shot that young guy down in Dallas, that was a message we didn't like young people.
We don't care for young presidents.
Yeah, right.
Get them out.
Well, look what happens when you get a young guy in office. You know, the next young person was Bill Clinton. And look what happened then.
That dress will never be the same.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There was the Biden Oval Office address. I don't know. Will we hear from him ever again, or is he just going to step? He's going to be the president for the next 6 months, and we're just never going to ever hear from him. He's going to all of a sudden become basically like Dale Basham.
202 days since we've heard from 203 days since we've heard from Joe Biden.
Dan Ridenour.
Oh.
What?
Dan Ridenour style too? Gonna block you?
No, I was just gonna say Dan Ridenour always says he doesn't like when people try to guess what's going on and they fill in the blanks with their own stories and they put things together that's not true. And I've always told him, well, Dan, you know what you got to do to stop that? You've got to be open and honest and truthful and tell people what's really going on. And I'm going to...
There's nothing to fill in.
Yeah, right. And I'm going to say that same thing to Joseph. Because I guarantee you that Paul Bet David, whatever weird name that is, Ben Shapiro, Glenn Beck, Tucker, Matt and Blonde, Benny, Joey Dore, they're all going to be saying weird crap.
Yeah.
They're all going to have conspiracy theories because you didn't do anything to quail that question, that issue.
Mm-hmm. Old Joseph Robinette Biden. What a weird name. Is that his middle name?
Yeah.
What a weird middle name.
I think I would have went with that. I think I would have been Robinette Biden.
I would have gone with Delano.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome, too.
Yeah.
That's Delano.
Yeah. All right, well, on that note...
I wonder if Biden's will hire a former SS director for security. I hear she's looking for a job.
Protect
I
my
was looking for a job. I found this one. What do you say?
Protect my Doritos.
What were you saying there before we got that? You said on that note.
Oh, on that note, if we're good with Biden, I was going to step out and let you go into your.
You're gonna do the
regular scheduled program.
Hold on here. You're gonna do the exit stage. Feed the ducks on the left. Is that the left? I meant the other left, where that door's open. I wish we'd just be sitting here and we'd see two scary eyes peek in.
I'm home alone. It's stormy. Now I'm getting scared.
Is it stormy?
It was earlier. Now it's actually pretty clear out.
Do you have a cat?
No.
Okay, well, I know you've got a dog, but if you don't have a cat, then something is going on. Because earlier, when you were leaned back, it looked something very small was crawling on the floor.
Dude, you're freaking me out. You stop that now.
I'm being serious. Because I almost stopped and said, wait, I didn't know you had a cat.
That's freaking me out. No, my dog was in here.
Doing an army crawl?
Yeah, she army crawls. But you know what she looks like.
She's black all of a sudden?
All right, I got to burn the house down.
All right, Brandon. Well, I appreciate They saw it too.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to watch the episode again now. I'm going to have to watch start over and see what the hell. When was it? How long ago was it?
It was after he spoke the first time. It's been within the last 15 minutes. It was not a dog. It didn't look like a dog to me.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Well, sleep tight, Brando.
I know people. I can get you sage, man. It'll be okay.
I don't know how this house is haunted, but it must be. All right, guys. Well, catch you later.
DR Horton.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
It was the ghost of Dan's D.R. Horton deal.
Oh God. Hey, GW saying 14:34. Is it really? Now wait a minute. I gotta go back and look. Hold on.
Wait
a minute.
that early in the episode?
Stay put real quick. We're gonna just look at this real quick. Then we're gonna get into the real show. Hold on, everybody. We're gonna save Brandon's life. This is a scary mystery now.
I've seen those weird videos that they'll have on YouTube where like there was a weird person living in this crawl space above my kitchen.
Yes, I would love for that to happen.
It's so scary to like climb down at night. They put out the security cameras because like our food kept disappearing.
Yeah,
they like live in the ceiling in the attic or some.
Do you listen to Mr. Ballin's shit?
No.
I'll send you a good episode to watch about that very thing. What?
Creepypasta.
Oh yeah. Now Mr. Ballin stuff's like all real. Like it's not like crazy. It's like real life scary stuff that like happened. Like it's crazy. Mr. Ballin is amazing.
The ghost mouse I want to meet, Kid Rock. It was Biden crawling on the floor. I was thinking about those spooky Japanese horror movies too. That'll get you spooked out a little bit.
Okay, here. Let's see. Let's put this up on the screen. They're saying it was at 14. Oh, you know what? I won't be able to find 14. I won't be able to find 14, whatever you said, because of how we're doing this. Hold on, I'll just do it like this. It's right around here.
Well, that's spooky time.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, it was here. You were leaning back in your chair like that. So we'll start it here. There we go. Turn down that sound. Yeah, because see there, you see how you see your shoulder over there and the floor?
Yeah.
So
interesting. You can see my okay.
Yeah. You normally can't, but you lean back. Lean back.
Lean back. Dude, how scary would it be if we look at it again? There's like some weird, like creepy chick like crawling on the floor or something. Ooh.
Yeah, right.
It's like, Brandon, what are you doing? There's someone in the room.
Ooh. Hold on, was that it? Here we go. I think we found it. Nope, there's your Rudd. Your Rudd crawler.
Rudd crawler. Scratch and sniff, male imbalance.
Okay.
Oh yeah, here's a good view. Okay, the dog was right next to me right there. I know that. If I was ever looking down to the right, that's where she was sitting.
I'm not being able to see it. I'm not being able to find it. And I know I saw it. Well, you're going to have to go back and watch. There, yeah. You're going to have to go back and watch. Are you seriously by yourself?
No, the wife just got home. I heard her down there. Dog ran down there.
You think that was the wife?
Oh my God. It's downstairs now.
Is something beating? I hear something.
Yeah, it opened the front door to let others in.
Have you seen that short movie, that horror movie where someone comes over and brings the couple a box, and the guy says, "Whatever you do, don't look away from the box." And he tells the guy, "Don't look away from the box." And every time they look away from it, like they look away from it, and a hand comes out.
Ooh.
And then they look away from it again, and another hand comes out. And then they look away for a second, and the guy peeks his head out. And he sees his head, and he's just looking at him. And then, so what happens? I'll send it to you. It's a short. It's like maybe 10 minutes. It's like one of those like short. It's like a indie made film. It's amazing.
Dude, I keep seeing this. I saw this creepy, like people do these just creepy little comic strips on Facebook. I don't know if you saw this one, but it's this dude goes in his daughter's bedroom. She's like in the bed. And she's like, Dad, there's like a monster. There's like someone in my closet. And the dad's like, there's nobody in the closet. So he goes to the closet and opens the door. And it's his daughter huddled in a ball. She's like, Dad, there's someone in my bed.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, that's spooky.
Yeah, I like shit like that. See you, Alva.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, that's a little spooky. It's like, see you, Alva. All right. We'll stop spooking people. I'll let you get back to it.
See you, man. Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Brandon Rudd. And that was kind of a strange episode, but that's what happens when Biden leaves us to our own devices. He was supposed to be on here speaking as a great leader, telling us things, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this 248th episode. This is called Mr. President, Mr. Mayor, and Messrs. Bilbrey and Rudd. And I added that Rudd right when I found out he was coming on at the end. So it doesn't actually say that up at the top, but it does in the episode. So we listened to the president. That's what that was. Now for the next little bit, we're going to talk about the city of Muncie and the goings on that's been going on, the Board of Works, and just some happenings throughout the day. If you're just now joining us, thank you. We've been on since right about 8 o'clock, so we won't go maybe as long tonight because we've already been on for about an hour and 20 minutes. But thank you, Michael, for your early happy birthday wish there. I appreciate you very much, sir. So here is the thing. Oh, there. Hey, look, Steve. Steve and Teresa said, happy birthday. Thank you there, Steve and Teresa. I appreciate it. When is that? That won't be until Friday. So, yeah, we'll see what goes on. So, here's the deal. The city of Muncie, we had a Board of Works meeting today, and we had a pretty big announcement today, which is really concerning. So we're going to talk about that. Before we do, I want to ask you, as always, to just take a second. And if you are here via YouTube, please consider hitting that subscribe button, giving us the thumb. And by that, I mean, give us a like. Hit the bell so you can get notified. For those of you that didn't know we were going live early, this is a good reason why you want to set up your notifications to give you a notice when we go live. Also, if you're here watching live, continue corresponding with us in the live chat box over here on the side. If you're watching this into the future at your own time, comment down there. And above all else, share the show with everyone you know. And remember, you can also find us on all podcast hosting sites. So thank you guys for listening and tuning in. We have some things to talk about. First things first, we will watch the City of Muncie Board of Works meeting today. Now, last night we took some bets on how long the Board of Works would go today. And I think that everybody was everybody went like way short. The Board of Works met for roughly 11 minutes today. I will say this, however. They really didn't need to go that long, and you'll find out why. So today's kind of an asterisk, I guess. It's they technically were live longer than anyone guessed, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Look here. You click on the City of Muncie. It says You can't comment on this post at this time. The broadcaster chose to apply this setting like the assholes they are. All right, so let's jump forward.
July 24th meeting of the Muncie Board of Public Works and Safety. If you'd please rise, we'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Huzzah!
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If we could have roll call, please, Lacey. Present.
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 We have been given the minutes from the July 17th meeting. Again, Lacey wonderfully took care of those. Do we have a motion to approve as presented?
I move approval of the July 17th minutes as presented.
And I'll second.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Okay, having none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried.
Brandon
Mr. Craig Wright,
Clower said he even heard Brandon
present the
Rudd
register of
out
claims.
state today.
Good morning.
Hi there.
Good morning.
Sent out the claims yesterday afternoon, and really just wanted to highlight a couple things. It was just predominantly utilities and healthcare.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I don't even think I posted anything on the notes until page 13. So, with that, I will open it up to any questions you might have.
Linda.
Yes, I had a couple we talked about before the meeting in the police department for reimbursements, and the descriptions are fairly vague. So I just would urge that you remind people that those descriptions are important.
A little more into detail. Yes, one was for reimbursement for Maplewood Animal Hospital for German Shepherd exam, and the other one was for a payment to for the electric vehicle program.
I think when the description is repetitive of the recipient being
That's what
being
literally
reimbursed, it
that's ridiculous. So it said the City of Muncie, whatever the amount is, $1,200 to Maple Animal Care Hospital for reason. Maple Animal Hospital. It's like, what? What is that?
doesn't give us much information.
Right. I will follow up on that.
Thank you.
And you do
I
a
agree
good
with
job of
Linda.
following up, so thank you.
Yeah.
Lola, do you have anything else?
I just have a quick question on page 13.
She talks so infrequently. She forgot what her words were there.
Under the edit funds for Board of Works, what is the AMA World Champ sponsorship?
That would, that's the airplane place out off of
Gotcha.
Wall
Okay.
Street. Yeah.
Thank you.
It is, the AMA is a thing for the American Model Aeronautics thing, but it also very easily could be the American Martial Arts Association, which was just in town last week. And I believe that there's a very good possibility that it could be that. I'm going to look into which one it actually was, because I think it would be funnier than hell if what Dan paid was actually to that, and Craig here instead said something just completely off the wall. So I'm going to look into it for that very reason. Now, he might be right, and I could be the one that's out on a stretch. That's a very good possibility, but we're going to do a check just because I have nothing better to do, and I think that would be a fun use of my time. And when I say I have nothing better to do, I mean, like, I'm so busy with things right now, I could scream, but I'll use it as one of my screw off things. I'll probably do it tomorrow because I think that'd be fun.
Gotcha. I just wanted to follow up on that. Okay, that was a good question. Okay, do we have any comments or questions from anyone else present? Well, having none, do we have a motion to approve?
Yes, I move approval of the claims as presented for $554,677.
Second.
Okay,
All those
so
or any other
not
comments or
as
questions?
much as it always has been.
Okay.
That's
Having
interesting.
none, all those in favor say aye.
I will put-
All opposed?
I will
Okay,
come
motion
back to
carried.
that.
Thank you very much,
I'm
Greg.
gonna
Thank you.
star that.
Have
I'll
a
come
great
back to
day.
that.
Thank you. You just said
We
What
don't have
was
any unfinished
that?
business. We
Whoa,
do
whoa,
have
whoa,
some new
whoa.
business.
Hold on.
We have. Okay, motion carried. Thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
thank you. You just said
Okay, motion carried. Thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
thank you. You just said
Motion carried. Thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
thank you. You just said
Thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
thank you. You just said
Have a great day.
thank you. You just said
Have a great day.
thank you. You just said
We don't have any
What the
unfinished
hell was
business. We do
that?
have some new business. We have Heather Williams here
Fun.
with the Muncie Action Plan. Would you like to present a request? Good morning, Heather.
Good morning. My name is Heather Williams. I'm the president of the Muncie Action Plan Board of Directors. We are co-hosting the $2 tour of the village again. I've lost track on whether it's the 5th or the 6th year.
Yes. Right.
But we intend to close down University Avenue from Calvert to Dill and host a number of vendors, music, entertainment. And it's really a way to spotlight the village and all that it has to offer to our community.
Sure.
And we did get the signatures from the police, the fire, and the Ball State Police.
You did. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve this road closure?
I move approval of the street closure.
I'll second.
Okay. Do we have any comments or questions?
Yes. Do you expect alcohol use?
The Guardian does set up in the center of the event, but the event is primarily focused on freshmen and sophomores at Ball State.
Yeah, 'cause
so
they don't drink.
I hate to say they don't get much business. I mean, it's really just a way also to highlight the downtown brewery.
That event
But
will look
again,
very different in the next few years.
What's that?
That event will look very different in
It
the
will,
next few years.
for sure. Yeah. But so to be honest, because the street's closed, people could, I think, get alcohol from like Roots or, and carry in plastic on the street. I think that is allowed, but that's never been the case.
Do you have police presence in case you do have problems?
We do. We have spoken with Sergeant Kessler, and her husband's actually in the dunk tank. So if you want to come out and dunk police officers, that's actually basically the entire dunk tank schedule. But yeah, we always do have Muncie police presence.
That's the reason for my question. We know that sometimes alcohol leads to other problems that we've had in other events. And so I want to make
Like babies.
organizers
Sure.
cognizant of that so that they plan for problems.
Knows as. I mean,
And again, Heather, what's the time?
It's from 3 until 7 this year. We actually moved it back an hour
Okay.
because it was getting just at dusk when we closed it at 8. So this gets a little bit more light at the end.
And that alleviates some of the alcohol problems too.
Indeed.
So this says 1 o'clock. Is it not 1 o'clock?
Oh, we close the street at 1.
Okay.
So 1 o'clock is when we have to, there's a lot of movement of vendors and, like filling the dunk tank and all that kind of stuff takes about 2 hours.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay. Having none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Heather, we'll have all signed for you right after the meeting. It'll
Okay.
take a minute.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
you.
Next, we have Minnetrista Museum and Gardens for the Sprites and Lights.
rights and lights.
They just want a road closure application for a rain date. Dave, right? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, right, GW.
That is, my name is Dave Franklin. I'm the hospitality coordinator with Minnetrista. We had a logistics meeting last Friday and realized that we had not taken into account for a possible rain date on Sunday. You've already approved our other 3 days of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And we just thought we'd add this fourth date as contingency upon rain. Looking at the rain possibilities, it's probably a moot point, but still, just in case,
never know.
you never know.
You never know.
Do we have a motion?
I move approval of the additional day of for street closure.
All right, they
In favor,
vote.
say aye.
Good,
Aye.
all good.
Contract approval. Who's here to represent that? City Hall vending.
Was filed by the mayor's receptionist.
Okay.
It was filed by the mayor's
Is there a
receptionist,
critical date
so
involved?
Shireen Wigley.
Filed it last week, requesting it to be on for this week.
Okay. Well,
But we don't have anything on it, right?
it goes from January 1st.
I have nothing in my packet.
Oh, yeah, it was, I had a contract.
Yeah, starts January 1st,
We got
2025.
time, so let's
Oh, I
Yeah.
take that. Sorry.
let's table that and we'll
Okay.
go from there.
Yeah, let's
Great.
table it. That
So
sounds good.
motion's tabled. Or
If
the-
they're not there.
And then we have one more
on-
from the Community Office of Community Development contract approval for partially home funded new construction of a single family home to be sold to a low or moderate income buyer. Sir,
Good morning, I'm
Good
Luke,
morning.
city engineer. Community development does not have that contract ready as of yet, so they request that be tabled till next week.
okay, good.
Woo,
That's what we were going to do
Aaron.
anyway. So thank you. So that motion's tabled. Do we have any other business or comments? Go ahead.
Now listen to this. Listen to this level of insanity that the city of Muncie put a citizen through.
I should be on the agenda. I put in a notice of appeal last week for vegetation that was cited.
What is your name?
3700 block of South Madison Street.
Did you bring it to the city clerk's office?
What
No,
happened
maybe
there?
I'm in the wrong place.
What is your name?
3700 block of South Madison Street.
What is your name?
3700 block of South Madison.
What is your name?
Why did they edit out her name?
3700 block of South Madison Street.
Did you bring it to the city clerk's office?
No, maybe I'm in the wrong place. Weeds and violations. Tall grass.
That would not be us.
That would not be you. You were listed as the president of the, and it was
Muncie Board of Works,
meeting
but that,
located here.
Do you have your paperwork? We can take a look at it.
I wasn't given any paperwork. I was just given this post that was blown over on my lot, and my neighbor received documentation. Yeah. This is City Hall Auditorium, right?
yeah.
Yeah, this is where the meeting. This is where it says on their website that the meeting, and you're posted as the president of the.
Of the Muncie Board of Works.
This is the Board of Works meeting. I will check with the building commissioner's office to see what it is specifically you're supposed to be attending and what for.
And that's on the third floor.
If you go to the third floor, they'll take care
Yeah,
of you.
that's where I took the notice of appeal, and was told today is where I would have this meeting. Okay,
Unfortunately, we received
I'll
no
just
notice.
go
Yeah,
upstairs
go
then.
upstairs. They'll take care of you.
Cool.
Sorry about that.
Thank you, Mr. Baker.
Thank you. Okay, any other comments or questions?
What? What in the hell?
Okay, having none, meeting adjourned.
Meanwhile,
Okay, all those in, or any other comment, motion carried. Thank you very much, Craig.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you. You just
okay. So that was that. Not a lot happened. I mean, it's just very lackluster. It is what it is. I get sick of saying they need to go through the claims. I get sick of saying that they're in the wrong. I get sick of all of it. I just get sick of it. I get sick of it. I know they get sick of it. I know people get sick of hearing it. It's just they're in the wrong, and they're always going to do that. They don't care. It is what it is. We just have to keep pounding them. At least they didn't approach us today. But just a very, very strange thing. Stumblefoot said 9 minutes. Who won? So, like, yeah, realistically, just real quick for everyone's understanding, the meeting, if you can't take the whole, you can't take
To the July 20.
so it's this.
Good are you?
Good morning, everyone.
All right, he says good morning at 16 seconds. So 16 seconds, he says good morning.
Yeah, I had a contract.
Good morning, I'm
Good
the
morning.
city engineer. Community development does not have that contract.
For vegetation that was, I should.
And the meeting is basically over here. Because technically, if she didn't come, if she was wherever she should have been, they would have been over there. So from 16, so 116, 216, so to 816 would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, 916. That would have been 9 minutes. So yeah, Stumblefoot would have been like the closest. And so if he was at 9 minutes, or whoever else would have said 9 minutes with him. So very interesting. It's a little bit better than 3 minutes. I gotta say, it's a little bit better than 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever it was last week. They still didn't go over anything, but it is what it is. So that was the quick meeting. We will continue watching them, of course, every Wednesday and seeing what happens. No, the big news that I really wanted to talk to everybody about out of Muncie today came from a really strange place. I think I shared the link from Channel 8. And when I shared this, nobody else had seen this. And I shared it and was talking about it. And then boom, it was pretty much shared everywhere else. And I was really kind of shocked that other people didn't have this story first. I was kind of shocked by that. So we basically woke up today to the news that Muncie, unfortunately, is losing a factory. And the loss of that factory is going to mean the loss of 62 jobs in the city of Muncie. That's a pretty big loss for the city of Muncie. I mean, that's a big deal. That's a really, really, really big deal. To see about that story, we will go to our friends at Wish TV. And here's the story. It says Muncie factory to close, 62 jobs lost. North American Stamping Group, located in Muncie, Indiana, at 3401 West 8th Street, is shown in the picture here. A Muncie facility that produces stampings and automated assemblies for the automotive industry will be shutting down this fall, resulting in the loss of 62 jobs. According to a worker adjustment and retraining notification, WARN Act notice filed on Tuesday, North American Stamping Group has informed the state of its intention to close its facilities by November 30th. My, right before the holidays, right before Christmas, right before the new year, going into the coldest winter part of the cold season. What a horrible time to be booted from a job like this. It's sad. The company says it's consolidating operations, and that's causing the closure of the facilities in both Muncie as well as a facility in Ohio. The notice states that the closure will be permanent. And then that's it. That's all they say. No statement from the city of Muncie. No big press release or tears from the mayor. Brandon says, hey, Dan gets to take credit for new businesses, but doesn't have to take responsibility for the lost ones. You tell me. That's the thing. So I put this forward. And I said, wow, exciting news for Muncie. Muncie factory to close, 62 jobs lost, and then shared the link. I went on to say, Mayor Ridenour and the MRC really have us going in the right direction. I'll be waiting for the City of Muncie and or the communications page to put out a picture of Dan in front of this business. Hey, quick, if they need to get cracking, they need to get cracking on about 10 or 15 new housing projects, it sounds like. Gotta love unemployment. More to come. Stay tuned. And so that was my post. And obviously I was being facetious. This is sad. This is horrible. It is not good. It's not something that I like to see. It's not something that I like to hear. And it's horrible. So a bunch of people have responded to this. I've posted this a lot of different places. Of course, almost instantly, I get some blowback. A couple people said, how would this be the fault of the city or the mayor? Stand by. I'll give you an explanation in a moment. Another person who seems to be maybe underage, or at least maybe they might be 18, but I'm not going to out them because I don't know if this is a juvenile or not. But this person says, before you get on your high horse and start blaming the mayor for something that's not even his fault, my dad worked there as a production supervisor for about a year. Woo! The upper management is terrible, and there was a lot of turnover with employees. Newsflash, not everything is the mayor's fault. Now, okay, I get it. This is what happens when you put content out. You get varying different degrees of different opinions. I'm fine with that. But I kind of felt like maybe there was information that this person wasn't aware of. So before I could get a chance to respond, everybody's favorite Politico, Mary Stilts, responded. Mary says, a friend of mine told me about it a few days ago. He has been there for close to 30 years. So much for a retirement package. She goes on to say, you plan and wait after 30 years of working at a place, you never missed a day of work, and then there's a meeting that tells you that the place that you gave all those years to is closing, and you will not have a job. So you don't even get the thrill of retirement. I feel so sorry for my husband and the employees of North American Stamping Group. To be perfectly honest, I'm shocked. I didn't know Mary was married. I had no clue. I had no clue. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad. I've never heard her say anything about a husband before. That was shocking. I'm shocked. I hate to hear this. If Mary's husband works here and is losing his job, I hate to hear that. I feel bad for them. Another lost Muncie factory gone. Mary then says she posted this on July 2nd, 2024, which I don't know what that means because I don't know who she's talking to at that point. Noah then says, it doesn't surprise me. It was back in 2019 he worked there and the writing was on the wall back then. Now, I wrote the following response to the kid that wrote to me saying, how could this be the mayor's fault? I said 62 jobs are being lost in the city that I was born in, the city that I absolutely love. There is no such thing as getting on a high horse about this. In any way, I agree. It is very possible the mayor had no knowledge or understanding of the day-to-day, month-to-month, year-to-year inner workings and or operations of this factory. That is not what my slam about Dan is here. My slam towards Dan is all of the other economic development that is not happening here. Dan's focus is and has been on housing. For example, the most recent housing project out on Kilgore. I've recently found out, ladies and gentlemen, that he and his administration have had very little to nothing to do with that project coming to Muncie. Yet, he's been in a few meetings here in the last couple of weeks, and he's weaseled himself into the frame of the picture, and he's been there, and he's announced it and done all of this to where now it looks like this is something that he brought here. And I know now that's just not true. People have to look at these things and search these things out and find out if they are true or not. You cannot just take Ridenour's word for it or the people that work around him, because they have now been proven to be liars multiple times over. I'm telling you, I'm still looking into this. I'm still gathering facts, and I'm going to have more on this at a later date. But I'm telling you, I have heard from several reliable sources, and I'm starting to see other information that's pointing in this direction, that Dan had very little, if anything, to do with the housing development on Kilgore. The only thing that he has done is shown up to the groundbreaking and been there to say, hey, look, I did something. So, you know, there he is sliding in to make it look like he had won the day there. Dan is in some screwed up horror movie version of Kevin Costner's Field of Dreams. You remember Field of Dreams? If you build it, they will come. You remember that? Well, the city of Muncie, we are right now trapped in this never-ending loop of this screwed up version of Field of Dreams. It's called City of Nightmares. And Dan just walks around uttering the tagline, if we build it, they will come. But nobody comes. We just keep building and building and building for nothing. Meanwhile, we're 5 years in and we still do not have an honest to goodness actual economic development director working for the city, moreover, working for the citizens. Dan is the elected mayor. Economic development is not his wheelhouse. It's not in the wheelhouse of Craig Wright. It's not in the wheelhouse of Richard Ivey. But yet, those are the people who have been leading the effort. It's scary. It's really scary. This is the very reason why Dan needs to shake loose the sycophants that live around him, that live in his head, that are just constantly around him, almost like parasites. They feed off of him. He feeds off them, and it just goes back and back and around and back. He's hearing all of these freaks telling him that he's king. But we know that's not true. It's time that he get off his ass and hire an actual economic development director. Thank you. What's the guy's name? Whoever the MRC director guy is. Jeff Howell. Jeff Howell. That's it. That guy, I don't know what his specialty is. He talks about himself and he brags himself up. I know he worked at a bank. But for one, he doesn't have a personality. His personality is in the toilet. He's not a very friendly or welcoming person. And he doesn't seem like a schmoozer, someone that's willing to sit down and wine and dine and really win the people over. He's really kind of a prick. He's an asshole. And then, of course, we have Dan, who's like Rain Man, but all the negatives. And Richard Ivey. And Craig Wright. And Matt Wegley. I mean, good Lord, at this point, bring back Donati. I don't know. We need something like that to happen so that maybe in a year from now, we are able to stop the next factory from shutting down. I don't know. I was very sad to hear this. Then what blew me away was when I shared this. I shared this around various places. And in one of those places, everybody's favorite Elton John impersonator, Ty Morton, he had some commentary to say on my commentary. He said, sure, it's the Muncie mayor's fault that a Tennessee-based company is consolidating its Indiana and Ohio facilities. Can someone please call the village of Winchester? Winchester's not a village, you dumbass. And tell them that we found their missing idiot. Hardy har 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 har. I don't even know what to say. I understand the reason why he's sensitive to the fact that I'm talking about economic development, but I'm not saying anything about his people. I'm not saying anything about the county. I'm talking about Dan and the fact that he feels the need to go to the bat for Dan. I mean, I would figure by this time that riding the fences that all these people ride would hurt. I don't know. Maybe some of them enjoy it. I feel like it would hurt by now. At some point, you've got to pick a lane and stay there. He's like, well, Jeff lost, so I'm going back to kissing Dan's ass. And then I call him out about it, and he doubles down. He writes back a comment and says something to the effect of, what was that? Were you talking, Kristopher Bilbrey? And he sent a yawning guy. So I sent a GIF of Elton John, and I was like, whatever, Rocket Man. So, and then what was strange was he deleted those comments. It was very, very strange. What's Tumblefoot saying? Yeah, Ty is about as goofy as they come. That is no question. That is absolutely true. If only the people that didn't know him really, really could understand. I was really happy with myself with the whole Elton John thing, because the guy could be him in a new biopic or whatever. Really, really amazing. So this is sad, folks. This is not a good look. Dan should answer for the 62 jobs. That's a lot. That's a lot of jobs for Muncie. Very sad, and something that we're going to have to deal with. I'm going to be sending an email again. I'll probably send it on my birthday. I'll probably send it on Friday. I'm gonna sit down and actually plot it out on paper, and then I'm gonna type it. And before I send it, I'm gonna kick it over to Brandon and Kate and have them look through it, and then I'm going to send it off to the 9 city councilors. I know. I'm going to include Dale, but I feel like I have to. And I'm going to ask them some questions as it relates to this closure of this factory, and as it relates to how they can attempt to push Dan into creating and maintaining an actual position in his administration called the Economic Development Director. I don't understand why he's so against having that, but apparently he is. All right. Hey, before we leave, I do want to cover a couple of things. Briefly, when we were doing the stream on Biden, when Biden was on and we were doing our stream, we had someone come forward and say this. This is Mindy Curtis. This might be off topic, but I'm the girl who fell in the hole at Thomas Park. June 19th and fractured my ankle. I messaged Muncie Parks and Recreation July 4th. They read my message but had no comment. I messaged them July 4th. They read but had no comment. Here it is, July 23rd. And Burgess, which we all know him, city employee who's the head of the AFSCME union. She says Burgess is filling the hole because the city did not. Thank you, Burgess. So, yes, another round of applause goes to Burgess for doing that. And Mindy goes on and says, let's see here. Mindy, someone said, Mindy Curtis, you're not going to hear from Muncie Parks Department. Paula said, Mindy says, Paula, I did when Thomas Park's splash pad was not draining a few days ago. And what I did, apparently I heard, I guess is what she's saying here. I heard back from them when the splash pad was not draining a few days ago and was flooding all the way from the splash pad to the ball diamonds fence. They did they responded back to me, that is. But I don't think she actually lists what they said. She goes on in another comment to say, Paula, exactly, it concerns me. It concerns, exactly. If it concerns them, we mean nothing. We got hurt on their land. If it concerns them, I don't really know what she's saying there, but she apparently got hurt there. So, I mean, she's right. They do need to respond to her. That I think that would be important. She then comes on and says, Burgess, if you're in here, thank you for filling the hole. And that's good. I'm glad he did that, because he's not doing that as a city employee. He's doing that as a citizen of Muncie, as a shed towner, as someone who's got pride in his area and he wants to make things different. So I applaud his efforts, and I applaud Mindy for speaking up. I'm sorry that she got hurt. I applaud Kid Rock for speaking out, and Stumblefoot. I applaud all of their efforts, and I thank them, and I want them to continue doing that. So you guys are doing the right thing. Stumblefoot then asked a question on here, and I want to get to this. Stumblefoot said, how does Gretchen bypass the park board's authority to oversee our parks projects and obtain funding without their knowledge? How does Gretchen bypass the park board's authority to oversee our park projects and obtain funding without their knowledge? I would need to have some more understanding of what specifically you're talking about. I would like to answer. I just need a little bit more context. Because I don't know if you're talking about something that's happened. If you could refresh my memory, or if you want to message me and we come back and revisit this or something. I'm not really sure, and I would like to be able to talk intelligently about what you're asking. To my knowledge, they don't really have much to do with each other. So I think that would be interesting. Stumblefoot says, check your inbox. Give me a second. Let me look. Okay. Okay. Well, okay, let me see here. Man. Okay. This is a lot of good information. I'm going to I want to really take time and read this, and then we'll talk about this tomorrow. So at the start of tomorrow's show, I will respond to that Stumblefoot questionnaire, because I just don't want to take a whole lot of time and read that, because I want to look at that, and I want to look back if there's anything I can look to research that up, because it looks like you're providing a lot of good information here. I just want to take a chance to get familiar with it totally and be able to answer it. So yeah, I mean, God willing, if you come back, if you will listen tomorrow, we will answer that first out of the gate tomorrow, when we do the show. So I appreciate that, and I thank you for sending that to me. You know, to be honest, even without knowing exactly what you're talking about, when we say, well, how can they do this? How can they do this? Because they're the ones in control, and very few citizens speak up. Very few citizens call them out. The ones that do, they're able to shut down or run away, or, any number of stupid things happen. So it's crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to bring us to the end. I want to check and see if we have anything else in here. No, that's good. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else in the start. Dan. Okay, yeah, that was from Brandon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, does anybody else have anything before we leave? Really quickly, before we go, I do want to tell everybody, obviously, as you're aware, the date is Wednesday, the 24th of July, 2024. That means we are 205 days into this term with no correspondence from Muncie at-large City Councilor Dale Basham. 205 days, 205 evenings where Mr. Basham has refused to respond to text messages, phone calls, Facebook posts, Facebook messages, or emails. He will not return phone calls. He will not respond in any way to legitimate questions asked of an elected official by a citizen, by a member of the media, by a political commentator. He just says, screw it, not going to do it. And we'll see who waits the other out. I am going to get to the bottom of this, because as fun as it is to continue making these little bits here to put up on the screen, I would much rather come on the screen and say, after 378 days, I hope it doesn't take that much longer, but we're trying new things and we're going to find it out, and I will keep you guys posted. Also, tomorrow, we're going to be talking about record requests and my plan for a full assault, meaning friendly and politically speaking, for a full assault against the city because of their lack of following the law when it comes to the Indiana Access to Public Record Request Act. I'm hearing it from all kinds of people. I'm hearing it from people down in Indianapolis news stations, Channel 13, Channel 11, Channel 6. I'm hearing it from, I've heard it from Kara Kinney. I've heard it from Steve Brown. I've heard it from every single one of the investigative journalists at every indie news station there is. I've heard it. I've heard it from journalists around here, around home. I've heard it from citizens. I've heard it from businesses. I do not know what they're doing, but they are breaking the law, and I am going to battle them on this. This is like the Henry County thing with John Sproles. This is a hill that the political spotlight will die on because it is important. So we're going to be focusing on that tomorrow. So if you're interested in finding out about record requests and all of that deal, you're going to want to tune in. Please, 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 before you leave, make sure to hit that like button. Give us the thumb. And if you haven't subscribed, do so. It doesn't cost you anything. Hitting the subscribe button on YouTube will then allow you to hit the bell, which will set up your notifications so you will know when we go live. We're normally live Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Every now and then something happens like it did tonight, and we go live an hour early. So that's why that's important, folks. Other than that, you guys take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. Have an amazing Thursday. We will be looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night right back here at 9 p.m. Eastern. Take care of yourselves. God bless. And good night. Good luck. And goodbye. I think I remember that, Tweety Bird.